Thank you for joining me for another Chuck Chat, or Tim Chat as the case may be. Tim Chat.
I was Chef.
Chef's a little nervous. I told him that there's nothing to worry about. We checked you all for tomatoes when you came in. Yeah. You may have noticed some yellowish towers in the background. Those are margaritas for after. The reason, yes, why we're having margaritas is to celebrate the end of the plumbing pipe replacement project in the restaurant. A year and a half of work went into that. Thank you for your patience.
Wow.
It's always like to start off with a little humor, right? September rapid testing in the rear. I thought they just swabbed your nose. Okay. No need to sit down. I've already diagnosed you based on your social media posts. Okay. Does anybody experience this with the gathering of the jackets out of the attic? Just when I begin to think life is totally meaningless, football starts again. Isn't there an app for this sort of thing? Multiplication.
That's the new generation.
We need you to settle an argument for us. Which is more adorable, a cat on a Roomba or a dog on a skateboard? What do you think, cat? Cat? Oh, dog. How many think cat? Dog? Ooh, dog wins. Dog wins. Pumpkin flavored pumpkins. That isn't what prove you're not a robot means, Bob. That's a good one. Some of these were submitted by residents. I miss my wife, but I know someday we'll be reunited again. I'm sorry, when did she pass? Oh, she's still alive. I meant when football season ends. Withhold ketchup, withhold straws, and leave out one item from every order. That's a good way to cut costs. Is it just me? Is every time you go out to get a to-go or to carry out, it's wrong? Is it just me?
No, it's
Okay, it's other people.
yeah.
And they never give us napkins anymore. I think we're supposed to use our sleeves. Mama, I can't do it. It's killing me. Just eat your broccoli. It's good for you. Years later. So it turns out you're allergic to broccoli. So she was trying to kill me. Hey Bree, guess what? What is it, Terrence? I love you from my head to my toes. Tomatoes, get it? Get your repulsive feet out of my face before I smash you into ketchup. I'm trying to put some food service jokes in there for you. Okay, cranky grandma. I know you've been lying awake at night wondering why baby diapers have brand names such as Love's, Huggies, and Pampers, while undergarments for old people are called Depends. Well, here's the lowdown on the whole thing. When babies crap in their pants, people are still going to love them, hug them, pamper them. When old people crap in their pants, it depends on who's in the will. Glad I got that straightened out so you can rest your mind. Your husband still needs to co-sign the stick-up note. You don't qualify for the early retirement package. You're too old. Don't worry about getting older. You're still going to do dumb stuff, only slower. That was resident submitted, by the way. Could I have the fruit salad with no cream, please? But then could you get my order wrong and bring me the triple chocolate fudge cake instead? Can you recommend something that will make my date sound interesting on the wine list? I knew there was something odd about a restaurant that bills itself as a fast food sushi place. Some of them food service for you, yeah. Due to creative differences with the chef, I'm afraid that the soup du jour will not be available this evening. Never upset your hairdresser or your chef, right? Okay. All right, Mrs. Arms, educate us on compostables.
Hello, residents. Uh-oh.
It's on.
Hello?
There you
Yeah.
go.
Hello, residents. I hope you had a moment to check in at the back for our recycling display. If you didn't, well, there you can check it out on your way out, on your way home. If you have any questions about recycling, you can always email me at KAYARMS, just my name all spelled out, at gmail.com. I will answer to the best of my ability. And it's easy. For the next few minutes, let's focus together on composting. Raise your hands if you are composting. Wow, that looks good, but I'm not seeing all those hands. Thank you so much for your participation. And hope the rest of you, maybe after our talk today, maybe join in on this project. Today I would like to present what I hope are some new information for you, for some of you, and answer some questions. First of all, I'm going to ask you a question. What can you compost?
Food.
Raise your hands. Abby?
The little round soup cup. You can compost that.
You can compost a soup cup. Why can you compost a soup cup?
Paper.
Made out of paper. Right. Where do you compost? Where do you take your compost?
The solarium to the compost bin.
To the laundry room. That's right over here. To the laundry room, she says. Well, some of you live in the Preston or the Carlisle. Where do you take yours? Okay, I need a hand. Where do you take yours? Okay.
The trash and recycle.
Trash and recycle room. Yes, good. And the solarium, there is a special room in there. So not all of the washrooms have that, right? Because on the ground floor, there's not enough room. And on the third floor, there's not enough room in the laundry room of Preston. But the rest of them do have some, every other floor has some area. Okay. So, actually, I'll tell you the true definition of what can be composted. Anything that is organic or made from an organic product, animal or vegetable. That includes everything you can eat and a lot of stuff that you can't eat. You don't ever eat corn cobs. You don't eat bones. There's a lot of stuff that you would not put in your mouth that is compostable. Liquids are compostable, but we have on our list, don't put them in. Why is that? Well, for one thing, the bags that they have in the compost bucket are made out of cellulose. I'll talk about that in a second. And that is very susceptible to fluids. Fluids will make it start just melting and decomposing immediately. So we want to still be able to pick that bag up. So that's why, even though milk, all sorts of other liquids are all compostable, you just don't want to put them in there. So, I mentioned the word cellulose. Cellulose is not plastic. It's made, the root word, cell, will tell you that it is made from organic material. And so all of the compost, all cellulose kinds of things are compostable. Now you can make your own wrappers for your Christmas candy out of cellulose in your kitchen. There's a YouTube do-it-yourself video on that if you're interested. Let's look. Chuck, you want to pull those up?
I'm having a,
Okay. Let's look at some products, though, that are available out there. There's a lot of things that we could use that we're not using. Let's look at a few. So the first thing on your list, and there are some that are on the side there that you can probably pass around, is this thing from H-E-B. This is a bag that you can use to put your composting in. And I put a recent price up there. I want to tell you though, when I first looked at those, they were $1 cheaper. That's as inflation is getting really bad right now. But you don't have to use a bag. If you get things like this from your drugstore, any kind of a paper bag, even these, even the bees are all available to put your composting in. Not a problem. There are also, if you look down, you will also see that there are some Ziploc bags. If you use Ziploc bags for your storage of your leftovers, and we'll pass around some of those, these are available in a compostable size. And there's lots of different sizes in them too. We could be using those. So there are also products that we could be using at our happy hours, our member reception, just like even today, to help eliminate the plastic and the waste that we create every time we eat together here. And make it compostable instead. Knives and forks and spoons or bamboo or wood are available. There's many sizes of paper plates. Here they are up here. We'll pass some of these around. I like to use this one. They're nice and strong, and they're solid paper. They could be used for our happy hours too. They won't fall apart on your bin. Then if you put your food on them and you eat your food, then you could put them immediately into the composting because any food that's on them is just fine. When you think about what we have to do for a recycle, one of the things that we always say, it has to be clean and dry. That means no food on them at all, debris of any sort. So if you were going to recycle from something that you ate on after this show, you would have to go over, rinse it off, dry it out, and then it would have to be a 1 or a 2 for you to be able to recycle it. Not happening, folks. Let's think about paper. There also are drink containers that are compostable, both for hot and for cold. A lot of them look just like the ones that we use that are plastic. Again, you wouldn't have to rinse out your plastic cup afterwards and to recycle it and dry it off. You could just put that thing into the compost if it was compostable. There are straws. We are actually using straws in our dining rooms that are compostable. I don't know if they're getting composted, but we're stepping in that direction anyway. Now, we all know that styrofoam is bad for us when you put food in it. And it's too hot, it'll just melt it. And then all of that stuff goes into your food, which I've had happen to me here. So we know that that's not good for us. There are compostable clamshells that are available in lots of different sizes. That's what's listed up there. Cling wrap. You know that stuff that you use to wrap your stuff up in the kitchen? That's also, you can also buy it compostable. There are also latex and, of course, plastic-free compostable gloves that can be used for food service or food delivery, like right now. And all of you who are pet owners, you have cat litter box liners and dog poop bags that are compostable. I think, at least I used to have a dog, we used to be using the compostable dog poop. I hope we still are. We're just taking some baby steps this year. This is the first year we've tried composting. The composting adventure is doing our part to try to reduce the overwhelming waste we are creating in our world every day. The Sustainability Committee thanks you for your help in all of this, and hope that we all together can take bigger steps this next year. Anybody have a question that I can quickly answer about composting?
Are things that are compostable, cups and plates and things, are they marked as being compost, or how do I know?
If it is a 1 or a 2, it is recyclable.
Yep.
And if it's plastic, it has to be a 1 or a 2 to recycle it. But if it's a compostable, it should be marked compostable.
Okay.
Or if it's just paper and doesn't have a plastic lining in it, then it is compostable.
Thank you, Mrs.
Any
Arms.
cardboard is compostable. Thank you very much for it. I didn't do the same, but it's time.
You were gonna sing? Oh. Okay. right.
It ran a little long. We wouldn't want to sit on the jeans.
All right, I've been asked to talk to you about the fitness center and your behavior in it. Sense and sensibilities. We all love smelling nice, but the fitness center isn't the place to bring your full fragrance collection. Some of our neighbors are sensitive to strong perfumes and sprays, and we want everyone to breathe easy while they break a sweat. So let's save the spritzing for after the workout. Your lungs and your fellow residents will thank you. Hot chocolate hijinks. Now, I love a good cup of cocoa as much as the next person, but the fitness center isn't a cafe. We've had a few spills near the electrical equipment. Yes, hot chocolate on wires, yikes. So we kindly ask that food and drinks stay outside the gym. Water is always welcome, though. Hydration is key. What's your favorite exercise? Chewing. Yeah. Mine too. Machine mishaps. Some of our exercise equipment has taken a bit of a beating lately. If you're unsure how to use the machine, Angie is your go-to guide. She offers orientations and is happy to help you get the most out of your workout safely and confidently. Let's keep our machines in tip-top shape and avoid any accidental gym acrobatics. Make sense? Okay. Signs of the times. We're trying not to turn the fitness center into a billboard jungle, so we're relying on good old-fashioned conversation to spread the word, which you guys are fantastic at. Your cooperation and kindness help keep the space welcoming and well-maintained. Thank you very much. I was planning to go to the gym, but I got a better offer for my refrigerator. Little humor there, okay. Executive Chef Tim Thurn has led Westminster to the let's give him a hand. It's hard to sit in front of you, trust me, I know. Yeah, let me turn you on here. Oh, there you go. So Executive Chef Tim has led Westminster's restaurants for almost 10 years. And Westminster's dining services have continued to be one of the most successful and top quality in all of senior living under Tim and Brian's leadership. Just to kind of give you an idea of how much he supervises, there were almost 35,000 meals prepared in the month of August.
Whoa.
You'll notice that's in red ink. Why is that in red ink? Anybody know? Because we budgeted 29,980 meals. And so what's happened is our occupancy and every level of care is higher than we budgeted. And so we're producing many more meals than we thought we would. We're also having a lot of guests in, which is great for Westminster marketing. And it's good for us as a community, and I think you're really having a great experience. So I'm going to let Chef Tim talk about himself just a little bit. Let us know a little bit about your background,
Okay.
and then we'll move into questions.
So yeah, I've been here for, I guess it's been almost 2 years, right? Because I do labor for.
You left for a bit.
I left for a bit and then came back. So no, and I'm just kind of, I've been doing this for a while. I've been probably about 30 years now. So I mean, I've worked in, just name it, I've worked in it. Okay. Corporate dining, restaurants, hotels, country clubs, catering companies, businesses like that. So when I got the first opportunity to interview for a position here, I've never worked in a retirement community. Okay, Westminster's my first one. Okay. I'm like, do I want to work in a retirement community? I'm going to see the same faces every day, and what if they don't like something? When I first started here, I went home sometimes going, oh my God, they don't like me, they don't like the food. But that kind of learn to talk to the residents, get to know them, right? So you can't take everything personal. So that's kind of where we're at now. So I'm just happy to be here this long. Once again, it's been a challenge. It has definitely changed from when I first started here. Okay? It has gotten so big. We've gotten more restaurants. We have gotten more residents. We have gotten a lot more residents with different food likes and needs. And it's hard to try to hit every one of them perfect, So we do our best, and I appreciate y'all supporting us. You know, I know we have our little, something didn't work out right, but it's just a challenge we're facing every day, and we're going to continue that for y'all. So.
I will say, and you won't say this about yourself, but I think you're a great teaching chef. And he takes time to teach the chefs reporting to him and really build their skills as they work here. And our turnover in food and beverage before Tim was around 160% in a year. And Chef has retained his staff for the most part. Turnover is around 25-30% in the back of the house. And it's either that or less typically every year. And I think it's the kind of culture that you've developed in the kitchens and the restaurants. Really, people respect you and they love working for you. I've seen that over the years. And you don't throw skillets.
Not no more.
Yeah, even I've thrown skillets. I used to be a sous chef. I've thrown a skillet or two, but not at anyone. That's important to say. But Chef he's a great teaching chef, and he shares his knowledge with his folks, and that's I think a key to his success. And he thinks about providing the same quality of food in healthcare that he does in independent living. So a lot of places, a lot of senior living especially, the food quality gets downgraded when you go to another quality of care, or another level of care, and he doesn't do that. He really challenges every day to have that same quality food, so that means a lot to folks. Lots of compliments. So I'll go into the questions here. These were submitted, and we'll do questions live. Why do the Mexican food meals not taste like Mexican food? And please start making beef stew with beef tips, carrots, corn, onions, greens, and lima beans. Your answer: we understand that everyone's idea of authentic Mexican food can vary based on preferences. We use Mexican spices and flavorings. However, we must look at the overall enjoyment of all residents. We try to keep the heat, spiciness tone down on most recipes. We will look at ways to enhance our offerings in the future. To answer your question regarding beef stew, there are so many recipes for beef stew. We will look into creating some of your favorite recipes in the future. Okay? Yeah, I like it. Okay. Question: we have enjoyed many of the soup offerings on the menu. Since we aim for a vegan-vegetarian diet, we are limited to the vegetable soups. We noticed that a couple of weeks ago, the V next to many of the vegetable soups disappeared and the B for broth remained. We're thinking that the B must stand for animal broth. Could the cook switch to vegetable broth and make the wonderful vegetable soups vegan? We have limited choices on the menus and we really appreciate that change. The answer: we will do a better job of labeling the soups on the menu. All our vegetarian soups are made with vegetable broth. Soups with proteins are either a chicken stock or beef stock. We rarely thicken any soups with a roux. We use cornstarch for a thickening agent. I had a vegetable soup today, which was very good, with tofu in it.
Yeah, and we had some requests for tofu.
And I ate it, and I was fine afterwards. It was good stuff.
Yeah, we have that question a lot. I know sometimes on the menu, it'll say the V stands for vegetarian. The B stands for, we have to kind of, it's the same thing with creamy or broth. So a lot of the soups that say creamy, there's not cream in them, but we have to we're trying to specify for residents who don't understand what the broth is and what the creamy soup is. So on all the vegetable soups that are on the menu, they are all made with a vegetable stock, no chicken stock. And that's something maybe we should have done a better job of explaining that. But all the vegetarian soups are made with a vegetable stock. Okay. So just so everybody can show that. Okay. And we'll specify, when a soup doesn't have gluten-free on there, that means there's something in the ingredients that are going to contain wheat or something. So that's why we try to make most of our soups with cornstarch instead of a roux. I know having the roux in there is delicious. We all have roux in our soups, right? We know how delicious that can be. But we try to make ours without using that roux. So that's how we're trying to accompany that for y'all.
Question, overall milk quality and quantity, a marked decrease in the overall quality and portion sizes of meals has been experienced. The answer, we continue to use the same vendors for the past 8 years with a couple of new vendors. This allows us some more variety of products offered as well as keeping any shortages or substitutions to a minimum. We do occasionally have to change a recipe and product offered. With quality, we have not changed any of our brands that we use. We will continue to train our cooks and chefs on recipe development and overall food taste to presentation. One of the things you didn't mention is that you've reduced all of the salt content and all of the bases, which I think is probably, you may be needing to salt things a little bit more if you like that flavor, because we have reduced all of our bases.
Yeah, we've reduced that, but we still have some, you know, some residents still will approach me and say, oh my God, that's just too salty. And it's one of those things where it's a constant training with our staff too. But all of our recipes we have reduced the salt intake. We have added, you know, Mrs. Dash to some of the items, which we can't put on the menu, we added this and this, but we hear that from y'all. So we are trying to limit the amount of salt we put in stuff. So any bases that we use or anything like that, we always use the lowest sodium we can get, okay? So that will help too.
Question, beef quality and preparation. Thin cuts make it nearly impossible to achieve a desired level doneness such as medium rare. A contrast, a consistently higher quality experience at the Roman. So the answer, we continue to use the same meat company for over the past 5 years. No change in quality and portion size. We use the same cuts in the bistro that we offer in the Rowan. We will continue to monitor recipes and training of our chefs. Question, food temperature. Cold food is frequently served despite the recent installation kitchen heating equipment. Answer, this has been a challenge, but it should be becoming less of an issue with the new heating elements we put in the bistro. We have received positive feedback from food being hot when served at the Rowan. We're looking into possibly changing our plateware in the bistro. Any food items ordered in the Laurel put into eco-friendly containers that are not necessarily designed to hold in heat very long. These are meant to be reheated if needed. So the bistro plates are made out of melamine. It's difficult to heat those, so that if you heat melamine, it typically gets more brittle and will break easily. So we're looking at replacing those with China plates next year. Question, why do the receipts from bistro now have the words kitchen note, partner in healthcare, charged to IL resident? My room number always precedes my menu request, so what does my husband's location have to do with my meal? Answer, we place special note alert pop-ups on our point of sale system as a reminder to our servers. For example, if a resident requires no added salt or has a gluten-free diet, we make special kitchen note for them. In this case, we remind them to charge the resident in IL. And so that's why that's occurring. Question, this one was for me, Chef. Okay. We are concerned about our allergies to dust kicked up by the vacuuming of our carpets. In our home, we long used HEPA filters on our vacuums and our air conditioning system. We have been told that the vacuums used for the weekly cleaning of our units do not have HEPA filters. Would you consider using vacuums with HEPA filters, at least for units with carpets and rugs? Actually, all of our vacuums have HEPA filters. We use the Windsor Karcher Sensor S12 and S15 vacuum, which are equipped with HEPA filters. That's what we use in all the apartments. We also use the Chariots that have HEPA filters on those. Those are the ones that the guys stand on while they're vacuuming. And then we use the highest rated filters in our apartments and common spaces as possible. So actually, our air here in Westminster is much healthier than what you typically had in your home, and certainly what's available outside. I put the 5-week look ahead in the schedule, but I'm really not going to go over that. I'm just providing it for your information. Is everybody getting a memo via the portal? Okay, great. For the look ahead, so hopefully that's a little easier to read. Some plan ops updates. So Preston A Wing temporary power shutdown tomorrow morning, 4 a.m. to 12 p.m. And the memo's gone out. Did everybody receive that? Okay, the power shutdown is going to affect apartment power. only on the A wing, but it will be apartment power. The emergency system, so the pull stations, your pendants, that's all still gonna work. It is just the panels in the apartments, and what's happened is that A wing first floor that we're building out, right now there's panels sitting in the middle of the room. That's not a great place to have panels. So when we finish, we wanna have those panels in a wall, right? That's where we put electrical panels typically. So we have to move the panels that are there. That means disconnecting the wires that are currently there, and then moving the panels, and then reconnecting the wires for the whole chase. So that's being done. It's gonna take about 8 hours tomorrow morning, so starting at 4 a.m. Why did we choose 4 a.m.? We chose 4 a.m. because we wanna be able to condition the space as quickly as possible. So if we left, say we started at 10 tomorrow morning, and we ran it for 8 hours, it's gonna get really hot in those apartments if the air conditioning goes down. So we don't want that to make those apartments uncomfortable. One of the things we asked in the memo is that you shut your shades when you go to bed that night and keep them shut until the power comes back on. We believe that the air conditioning system will still function for most of that time, most of the 8 hours, but there may be a period of time, maybe 2 to 4 hours, that the air conditioning in A wing resident apartments won't function as well. So if you keep your shades pulled, and you should be able to stay cool in those apartments. If you are having any difficulty, put your pendant on. We'll also have maintenance techs and security walking the floors of A wing during the shutdown the entire time, okay? Scissor lift in the marketing lobby, everybody seen that? Yeah. That work, they're replacing insulation that has failed on chilled water pipes. And so those were really wet thoroughly, and we don't want that, and actually it was coming out on the ceiling tile, so we went ahead and replaced all of that and cleaned that area up. Preston driveway repairs, everybody's noticed that, I'm sure. If you noticed over the last 2 years, the pavers have separated and it became dangerous, and I didn't want any residents to fall there. So we're redoing that space. The only way you can redo pavers is to take them all up and then put new sand down and then relay those pavers. And that's why it's taking as long as it is. Hopefully we'll have that finished next week. All of this stuff is completed. The biggest thing for me is finally finishing C-wing of the HVAC plumbing pipe replacement. That's why the margaritas today. I really appreciate your patience. I know that was a hard thing to go through, but it's over, and I'm glad of that. If you'll remember, that started back in 2024 because we were doing some remodeling on an apartment, and they were cutting some sheetrock and pulling back some insulation, and a huge leak occurred, and that pipe just broke up into flakes. And so we discovered that we had that condition in a lot of the pipes in the Preston building for the air conditioning system. And so we redid that entire air conditioning system with new copper pipe. It was a big job, but we saved millions of dollars over the period of 2 years doing that work. So, if you see Abel and his plant ops team, thank them for doing such a great job. They really did. The construction cameras are on the website, should be available through your resident portal. Just click on expansion project and camera views in the drop-down menu on that. I think everybody's seen this before. Site plan. Congratulations to our Alzheimer's Texas fundraising. The team raised more than $80,000, and thank you all for your support. We really appreciate it. The auction was more popular and raised more money than it ever has, more than $10,000 just at that event. So thank you very much for participating. I do have a couple awards that we just received. We just had a deficiency-free 403B audit. That means we're not committing fraud in our retirement, which is good. Resident Satisfaction Award for 2025 from LCS as well. And then Chef and I would both like to plead with you to return the green containers. And if you have friends, or even people that you don't like, that you know are hiding these in their apartments, call them out. Have them return the boxes so we can all recycle and reuse those boxes. Okay. Star cards. Everybody knows you can fill out star cards. Hopefully you've all met Tracy Lindy Smith, our new Health and Wellness Director. I'll introduce her at the next chat. She's going to be a great addition to the team. Some of you may remember that she worked here many moons ago as the home health administrator and liked us well enough to come back, just like Tim did. Yeah. So, all right, that's all I've got. Any questions for Tim or myself? Maria, can you take the microphone around? Anybody have any questions, or you just want to get into margaritas? Oh, yeah, okay. Nice try.
I think I've been talking about it. Can everybody hear me?
No, you already got some no's up here, sorry.
Hi. I wrote some of the questions that were up there about the food were mine, and I want to bring up the quality. I'm glad the meat is coming from the same place, but are you going from a prime to a choice or to a different level of steak? Because the steak is not the same, and it's not the same as in the Rowan. Maybe it's me, maybe because I grew up in the Northeast and we get beef up there differently. We don't get Texas beef. I'm not sure, but when I first moved in here, all the platters were very delicious. As a matter of fact, I gained 10 pounds. That's how good the food was. The food is not that good anymore. It's just not. It gets served cold. I mean, your meat, your main, your chicken, your beef, whatever you're eating is usually warm, but the sides are cold.
So
And I dare anybody to say that they get an entire hot plate that is edible. It's not.
What restaurant are we referring to? Both of them? Be sure we can't refer to the law right now.
No.
Okay.
I'm talking about the bistro. The Roman is wonderful. If I could get there, I would do it for lunch and for dinner. But it's not the same. And the other thing you didn't address was the quantity. I can understand, I also wrote that, the quantity has gone down and the prices have gone up. I think you could do one or the other. Give us less and charge just a little more. But in the last 6 months, the prices have gone up $1, $1, $1, $1, $1. And I don't think anybody pays attention. Maybe I'm the only poor one here.
I don't think
Pay
you
attention.
can, I don't think you can get
So-
anywhere as better pricing than we have.
No, I'm not saying your pricing is not good.
Yeah.
But I'm saying for what we used to get and what I paid was good, and it was cheap then. I put my hands up, yes, it was very good pricing.
So,
But now the pricing has gone up, and the quantity has gone down, and the quality has gone
so
down.
the quantity, some of the quantities have changed because there's been conversations amongst the residents, food committee, others, that the portions were too large, right? And that's been talked about for years, and so yes, we have brought those down a little bit. You're still getting a 6-ounce filet. Beef tenderloin has gone, 2 years ago, beef tenderloin was $28 a pound, now it's $42. So, yeah, your menu prices have gone up because we can't afford for you to eat beef tenderloin steak every day.
Right?
Nobody could, but you're still $21, which is what we're charging for the Rowan, I think now for the beef tenderloin filet, is a fantastic deal. You're gonna pay $40-50 anywhere else in town.
Yes, from the Roman, yes.
Right. No, even then, I've had the steak in both places, it's the same. I understand that's your perspective, but that's not what I'm hearing,
Okay.
okay?
And as far as the quantity, that's fine. I used to
Right.
bag it and take it home and eat it for,
Right, and not only does
The
it
next
cost
day,
for
Max got
the raw food cost in that, right? You're also paying for the to-go box. We were paying for the to-go box, right? Which also
I
eats
return
in.
my to-go boxes.
Well, thank you for that. I
Or I
appreciate it.
bring my own.
Yeah.
I was told
Now, I
by
agree.
my friends who bring my own.
I really do think that part of the bistro problem is that the temperature of the plates is not hot. And so typically in the Rowan, we're heating our plates. We need to change that about the bistro, and I think we'll produce hotter meals. Okay?
But I want to put in something else about the bistro. So people need to understand that our numbers in the bistro have tripled from what we used to do. Okay. So, I'm sorry, yeah. So our the amount of covers we do in the bistro has tripled. Okay. So within the time frame between the time lunch starts and it ends, we're doing anywhere from 200 to 200. It just depends on lunch and dinner. Okay. So people, sometimes it's just like we got 3 cooks back there trying to do the best job they can, trying to make sure everything is the best. And sometimes they don't hit our mark. We don't. But I encourage y'all that we're going to continue listening to, if you have any issues or anything, just bring it up to the food committee, and they'll definitely let me know. And it's just something we're going to continue working on. And if you are not pleased with your meal, and I know some of y'all have told me that, it just takes too long. If I send my meal back and I'm not happy with it, it'll take too long before I get another one. I mean, I understand that, but my goal here is to make sure everybody's happy. I know I'm not going to make everybody happy, but we're going to do the best job we can. And I like to hear compliments. I like to hear when we're not doing something right. Okay, but we're not going to stop. We're going to continue doing everything we can to listening to anybody who has anything to say that's not good. I really take that very professionally, and I try to talk with my staff and look at ways, what can we do different?
Yeah, if you do experience a meal that's not hitting it out of the park, let us know. Even if you can't send it back, write it down on a comment card. We read those every day, and then we will train our people better based on those comments. It's very helpful to us to get those comments. It's difficult when it only happens in the food committee, or when it's a month from now. I don't know what day it was, but some Tuesday I was in there and it wasn't good. I had a gristly steak. That's not very helpful, but if you could be specific with us and let us know as soon as possible, we can really intervene and really make things correct, right? All right. Another question? Oh, no, I don't have it. All right. I don't have another.
Hi, I don't always want to know the answer to this, but once in a while, I do want to know, what's the calorie count in the wonderful cookies at the bistro? And what's the calorie count, every once in a while, I want to know, in the ice cream, or whatever it is we're getting?
Do you want us to put that?
That would be, that'd be really helpful.
Do you want to know?
On average, it's about 300 a cookie, isn't it?
No.
250 to 300.
Yeah.
How much are the cookies?
250 to 300 probably. Yeah.
Whoa.
I only know that because I'm a diabetic and I watch all that stuff real
Yeah.
close. Yeah. But they're good cookies.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
And the ice cream, or whatever it is we're getting, do we have any idea what's in it?
We can absolutely get you that.
That would be
information.
great.
Yeah, we can do that.
That would be great.
We'll post it on the portal and let you know what that is.
I've always wondered this. How do you anticipate the flow of people? How do you guess how many people are going to show up for lunch on a Tuesday versus a Saturday?
We keep track of the counts that we have every week.
So you can estimate pretty close.
Yeah, we can estimate kind of, so we know like 2 weeks ago on Tuesday, we did this many covers. We just look at how it kind of, we'll look at the accumulation of it. And we can kind of vary how many people we expect to have on a certain day. So we know what days we're busy, so we try to plan a little better on them. Usually, that's true, that's true. Unless we have guests or we have something that's.
Like if you run a surf and
Special,
turf
yes.
in one restaurant, that restaurant's gonna be really, really busy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. If you bring in one of the reasons we ask for reservations on tables of 5 or more is because if you bring in a 10 top or a 15 top, and we don't have a reservation, that's difficult to anticipate, right? So it really is gonna, if we don't have enough cooks in that area, enough hospitality ambassador servers, in that area. It's gonna make it rough. And it's not only rough for the associates, but rough for the residents as well.
I'd like to say that the beef tips served in the Rowan last night were among the very best meals I've had in 2.5 years.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
What's the latest on the Warren dining room?
I'm sorry?
The dining room next door, the Lawrence, when will it be ready?
Okay, when will the Laurel Dining Room be ready?
Yeah.
We hope to open it end of March. Yeah.
1 year later.
No, we didn't shut it down until June.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, no, that's wrong. You're wrong. I'm wrong. We shut it down in April, but we didn't start until June because our permit wasn't approved until June. Yeah. We had hoped to start April 1st, which is, April Fool's Day, but it's also our anniversary. But we did not get to start until June, so it threw us 2 months behind on the schedule. We're gonna try to tighten that up though and try to get it open middle of March if we can, but I don't wanna promise that. Yes, ma'am.
Chef Tim, could you share with us what your planning and thoughts are for the holiday meals for Thanksgiving and Christmas?
Yeah, we're working on those right now. So once we get the menus complete, it'll all go out to.
Will it be like probably a buffet?
Yeah, it'll be up here in
Stuff?
HPH. It's gonna be a buffet, more than likely, yeah.
Holiday meals here are fantastic.
Well, related to the holiday meal, I have a daughter who is gluten and dairy free and a son who's a vegan. And last holiday, they could not eat a meal here because everything was cooked in butter. So I don't know if that can be a consideration. It was not just the entree choices, it was also the vegetables and things.
Yeah, we'll look into that, because what we're trying to do this year is look at trying to add I know not everybody, it depends on what their favorite vegetarian item is or dish is offering a vegetarian option included in that. Yeah, that's something we can maybe look at. Because we try to let, once again, it's kind of we could prepare everything steamed, no butter, no nothing. And I'm gonna get 80% of people are gonna complain to me. Okay. If I don't put a little seasoning, but I understand what you're saying with that, so we'll look into that and make sure that if we do add it to something, we are going to put the minimum amount.
Maybe we don't have a special or something that's vegan.
Yeah, that's probably what we'll do is we'll offer one item on the buffet that's going to be vegetarian. That we'll keep that.
I'd also like to compliment the new menu in the Rowan. It's got more things that I want to eat than your previous menus. I'm not a steak person. I almost never eat red meat. And I'm very pleased that there's so much chicken and fish that's on the menu now. And I was asking server the other day, what was the plan for the future? And she said, well, it's going to go back to be a steak place once the Laurel is open. I'm wondering if that's still the plan, if you could keep kind of options.
No, we want to keep it open and we want to bring in some new items and things like that. So we don't want to, that's something Brian will.
Yeah, we won't go backwards. Any other questions?
thank you.
One more question.
Yes, I want to say to Chef Tim that I'm very pleased with the soups that we're getting because they're very low in sodium. And I'm hoping that we're not going to have an increase in sodium in all of our food again, because it's very important that we keep the sodium at a minimum. And if people are unhappy with the food, they can always add salt at the table, and they can taste it to their own desire.
Oh,
so
I
please don't add any more salt to the food at this point in time. Many of us would appreciate that. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you all.
So just real quick on that. So Yeshi, a couple years ago, we did a cooking class up here with Yeshi, who makes all of our soups. I don't know, some of y'all maybe know her. She's our soup lady, as we call her. And she makes all the soups, and when she's not here, people know it, even with recipes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, no, we're going to continue looking. We're going to continue to listen to y'all, okay? And just do the best we can. I wanted to finish what I was saying, because usually I started on something, I got sidetracked, and I didn't get to finish it. So when I said Westminster was my first retirement community I've ever worked at, okay? And I was like I said, I don't know if I could do it retirement community. You know, I mean, it could be tough. It could be.
It is
I've
tough,
heard.
I'll tell you that.
Things I've heard. But, you know, I've been here for this long for a reason, okay? And I enjoy it. I enjoy the residents. I need to get out there more than I have been lately, just based on kind of what's going on with all we're trying to accomplish right now. But y'all have made this, you know, I hope you enjoy the food as much as you can, but at the same time, you guys, our staff really appreciates it. Anytime you say something to me positive, I will make sure they hear about it. I've got some great sous chefs, we got some great meat cooks. You know, we just got a great F&B staff, I think, overall. So I appreciate anything, you know, that y'all have to say. And I've got open ears. I'm always willing to listen. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chef. Time for margaritas.